Here at the Mobile World Congress, I'm talking to Neil Cook, the CTO of Cloudmark. Neil, we spoke to you last year about spam, the dreaded spam, and now this reporting service that's been in operation for just under a couple of years. What progress are we making?
Well, it's been rolled out in a lot more countries now. We're seeing it more of a global service. I think last year we had rolled out across the US, all of the US carriers, and now we're looking at the UK. It's rolled out across the UK and in lots of countries like South America, Brazil, and our latest release was in New Zealand. The Department of Internal Affairs in New Zealand has mandated it across the whole country, and we're seeing that as a trend now. Regulators are getting involved, and they're working with operators to make the spam reporting service and fighting spam and fraud really a part of the day-to-day activities that they need to do.
Oh, that's really good news. What's been happening on the spam front in the last 12 months? Where is it kind of moving into? What areas?
So one of the big things that we've seen is an increase in fraud, particularly financial fraud, and particularly phishing. And phishing, of course, is when people are trying to steal people's bank credentials or bank account details. And in the US, for example, we've seen in the last month or so about 60% of all the reports that we see into our service are about bank phishing. So that's extremely concerning. In other countries, probably the biggest trend has been in the UK, for example, a lot of payday loan fraud, which means that probably the UK economy isn't quite as secure as we think it might be. It's still on the road to recovery. So.
And is most of the threat in the traditional sort of operator market, or is the OTT area starting to be affected?
OTT is definitely starting to have a lot more problems. We saw a big spike in spam reported for Apple's iMessage application. iMessage had a huge spike in spam around the Thanksgiving holiday, when obviously a lot of people are going to the shops on Black Friday, and there was a lot of spam associated with that. So yeah, Apple iMessage particularly because it has APIs that you can use to send messages into it, which is actually more than some of the other OTT services, but big increase in OTT spam.
What about in general terms? Are we winning? Are we losing? Are the operators getting more aware? How do you see the situation now?
Well, I think with the more global rollout of the spam reporting service, we're definitely seeing operators becoming much more aware of the kind of problems, and they're getting involved with regulators as well, as I said. So we're really giving them the tools now to be able to find out what's going on, and they can use those tools to fight back against the spammers and the fraudsters. So in the US, for example, the gift card spam, which is one of the big sort of themes of the last couple of years, has dropped by around 80% because the Federal Trade Commission used the data from the spam reporting service to prosecute people. About 29 people are now have been indicted, and that has caused a huge drop in spam. And similarly in the UK, pension liberation spam has almost disappeared due to some coordinated action from the regulators and the police. In fact, some people were arrested. So
that sounds really good news, because I think if people feel that they can do something and they see people being punished for it, then more people will join the fight.
That's right. I mean, the spam reporting service really does give individual consumers the ability to fight back against those people that are waking them up at 2 in the morning with details about PPI.
Okay, well that's very reassuring. Thanks for bringing us up to date.
Thank you.